Okay guys, so this is finally going to be our new homeschool room tour. So I've just finally gotten around to getting everything sorted out so I can show everybody how I've got it set out. So we've got another video of our old homeschool room, which was sort of a temporary room, and this is our new one. So I don't know how much time I've got, so I'm going to go pretty quickly. And hopefully this video will be nice and stable. Still getting used to it. Okay, so I'm going to start over this corner. We have a clock in the corner which I'm going to move actually because it's sort of hidden away there, and I've got some kids learning to tell the time. Over here, this is kind of like my little kids area. I sit on the floor on the cushion with them and read to them, or we do little games and activities. So I really like this little zone here. With my 6-year-old, we do a lot of stuff on the floor, so yeah, it's great to have this nice comfy spot to do stuff. And he comes in here in the morning, every morning, because this is sort of the quietest room in the house while everyone else is sleeping. So the kids come in here and use this nice mat here to do puzzles or games or anything. So we use this room all day, every day, basically, not just for like schoolwork. So we've got a few little bits and pieces here. This is just wooden puzzles and things that don't actually have a home, but they have small parts, so we can't put them in our other playroom, and some magnetic letters there. Then over here we have some phonics tale books. This is just a basket of different bits and pieces. These are from our Hooked on Phonics program, and things that I might want to just pull out. Like I have a 4.5-year-old who, when she shows interest, I can have stuff on hand to do stuff with her. That's what that basket is. And then this is also another thing I've started, which is a morning basket for my littler kids. So we have a morning read aloud basket, which is for everybody, but this is more for my littler kids. So if I have some time to sit with them and do stuff with my 4.5 and 6-year-old, then this is just different things that I have set out for them. So if I find something in my travels that I think great, I'll do that with my little kids, then I can chuck it in this basket and I know that it's there, so when we're doing stuff it's right there, and I love it. I love having that now. And we've got some alphabet flashcard things that I made a few years ago for my kids when they're learning letter sounds. And also I will link where I got that, and this, which is some really nice little mini poster, and I have the little flashcards that go with that too, and that's a really nice one. Down here we have some levelled readers. I'm sorry if the light's funny, so I have to resort those out, but for learning to read, so they're in different kind of levels. Here we have some magnetic, sorry I'm not sure if you can see that, magnet blocks, some Mobilo, and this one is some mats for doing Montessori activities. Then we have some trays down here for when we're doing activities. These shelves are new from our last homeschool room, so I won't go over the activities I've got set out because I'm going to do a different video on those. But basically, this one is for maths. This one's language arts, and this one's for maths. So the kids know that anything related to those things, so like our Matthew C blocks are here, different things. The base 10 blocks are down there, and I change a lot of these activities regularly for the kids, so we can work through activities together. Up here we have our Montessori movable alphabet and our Jolly Phonics magnetic letters, which are great. Then we have artwork hanging up the top, and I forgot to mention our hundreds chart, which we use a lot actually with my 6-year-old. He loves doing stuff on that. In the middle we have a little table which my 4.5-year-old uses mainly for different things. And then I have a chair here which I use for read alouds usually. This is sort of, I guess, my kind of dump zone. So this is our morning read alouds at the moment. They usually go in the basket, but I've got an extra couple have just arrived, so they're not fitting in there, so I've just stacked them up there. Our printer, some Spanish word and number posters that we printed out. If anybody wants the links to anything, please let me know. I'll put a few in the description below, but if there's anything I've missed, then please let me know and I can put the links down. A bit of a calendar here which we change out, and the whiteboard which we use a lot. another calendar, our week in view, which I can go over in another video. That one's just for me to keep me on track on what days we do different things. For those of you who don't know, we are an eclectic homeschooling family, so we do a bit of everything. My computer, these are a new thing we're trying, which are fantastic. They're Naration Cards. So if we read a book, the kids can pick one of these out. These are age leveled, and they are really cool, and my kids really like them. So this would be, say we read a Shakespeare story, then this would be retell the reading in your own words, or it might be, you know, like write a mini quiz on the story. There is design a diorama of your favourite scene. What else have we got? Writing a different ending to the story. So these are so fun, and my kids really love them. I'll put the link below where I got those. They're really cool. And that's just my zone. In this cabinet here, we have just my kind of dump zone again of my planner and some books that I'm getting rid of and different things. Down the bottom is where most of the flashcards and hands-on material, which is a huge mess at the moment. So a lot of this stuff I'll put out on our shelves at different times. I just don't keep it all out all at once. And then on the other side is, again, this is curriculum bits and pieces that we're not using at the moment. Extra paper and different bits and pieces in there, Velcro dots and that kind of thing. And we have an aircon in this room, which is great because we are in Queensland in Australia and it gets very hot here, so it's great to have that. Now this is another thing that's new, is the kids' desks. They wanted desks. We have always used a table in the middle, like this one, which we still have, and done our work together, but the kids are getting a bit bigger now and they wanted their own space, so we got these from IKEA, and they just drag one of the chairs over, and when they're doing their independent work they can go to their own space and do that. And this is my 6-year-old, and a lot of the time I'm on the floor with him anyway, so the two bigger boys use these two desks here. And we've got some world maps, we've got a little thing here which is a reminder for their daily independent work, what they've got to get done when they're doing their independent work, and that's that. This cabinet here is probably the same as the last video, but if you haven't seen it I'll just go over really quickly. Most of these books are all our reference books, so we have another few bookshelves in the house which have our storybooks and other books in, but this is just our reference books, so things the kids might need during our school time. Then we've got some paints, some wool, different art sort of kits, some kinetic sand. Up the top is paper, sewing kits, stamps, hammer tap, that kind of thing. This is a folder that I use, it's an activity folder for my daughter who's 4, who likes to play with that when we're doing schoolwork. Then just some little maths chips that we use, wooden pattern blocks which are great when you're doing read aloud because they're quiet. And this is our human body sort of box with different human body models. Sorry about that. So this is just eye models, and there's a heart model in there as well. These are giant flashcards which I've never used, and they're a bit big, so I'm not sure why I got those because they're a bit too big. Okay, and then up the top is my laminator, a felt world map with some pieces, some more paints, paper, and that is just scrap paper up on the end there, and my camera, keep that up high. Then this is just where we keep pencils and scissors and sticky tape and that kind of thing. We've got stencils and this kind of stencil stuff. I like the kids to draw and do that kind of thing when I'm doing read aloud, and they do it around the table. This is sort of crayons and pencils and textures. And then we have, these are whiteboard marker books, so they're like mazes, and the kids can do those if they want to. That's just a big stack of them there. And then more pencils and a stapler and crayons and that kind of thing. And down the bottom we have more arts and crafts, bits and pieces that the kids can use when they want to. There's some shells and that kind of thing. Hi darling. And more different arts and crafts supplies in there. I won't go into all of that. We've got a little visitor. Oh, can't get that in. And there's some trays just if we're doing messy art, although we don't mind if this floor gets dirty, which is the great thing about this room. Then that's just a bin. We're using that as a bin. This is my 4.5-year-old daughter's desk. She wanted one, and we got this in the op shop, thrift shop, for $20, and it's perfect. She can use it for painting and gluing and things when we are doing our schoolwork, and it's great. If you have the space, I recommend setting that up for younger children, because they love having their own little area where they can do their work, and it sort of keeps the mess contained as well, which is great. And down there's just some drawers which I'm going to use for something in the future. This is our library books to be returned, and this is a whiteboard which I am going to use for which I use with my son if we're doing things on the floor. I actually pull this out and we can sit here, and my 4-year-old can draw on it, or we can use it for whatever we want to be doing. We can use the magnetic letters on it and that kind of thing. Then over here we have just a place where I can display books. So we put a lot of our library books up here. So just pop out of the way, darling, for a second. You need a special texter for this one, okay? So we'll do that in a sec. No, not that texter. You can't use that texter on it, darling. So we have our globe and just some different books up here. This is for Lego. I want to get a Trofast for here because we don't have very good Lego storage. So I think that will be better for Lego storage. But at the moment, it's just in those cupboards. And then we have some cube blocks, Cocoa blocks. And someone's getting cranky and we're nearly done. All right, and over here we just have a big cabinet full of all our puzzles and games. Okay, so that is that. Different games that the kids can grab anytime. Okay, and that is our homeschool room. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you about that. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.